Israel out of Egypt went, and did his dwelling change. When Jacob's house went out from those that were of language strange, then God chose Israel as his own, with miracles and signs, and led them to a promised land, a land of milk and wine. God's power and might all Israel saw, they promised to obey the statutes and the holy law, and all the Lord did say. God's blessing on their land and flocks, if they would go his way, the greatest nation ever known, if only they'd obey. He split the sea, the waters fled, all Israel was saved, while Pharaoh's armies all were drowned within a watery grave. By his great arm he brought them out, with children, flocks, and grain, unto a land to make their own, with God their king to reign. By God's command the barren land caused manna to appear, and at the presence of the Lord all nations quaked in fear. He also from the stony rock did pools of water bring, and by his power he turned the flint into a water spring. God's power and might all Israel saw, they promised to obey the statutes and the holy law, and all the Lord did say. God's blessing on their land and flocks, if they would go his way, the greatest nation ever known, if only they'd obey. A cloud by day, a fire by night, God's pillars led the way. Their clothing nor their shoes wore out, whilst traveling day by day. Like rams the mountains, and like lambs the hills skipped to and fro. O mighty sea and Jordan wide, why were you driven so? God's power and might all Israel saw, they promised to obey the statutes and the holy law, and all the Lord did say. God's blessing on their land and flocks, if they would go his way, the greatest nation ever known, if only they'd obey. God's blessing on their land and flocks, if they would go his way, the greatest nation ever known, if only